Hello and welcome to The Wire Primetime. I'm Siddharth Varadarajan. At a public event in Maharashtra over the weekend, Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud made a startling disclosure about one of the most controversial judgments he has been party to while on the Supreme Court. Let's listen in.
मी भारताचा सरन्यायाधीश झालो. कित्येक वेळा काम करताना असं होतं बघा कोर्टात की याचा पर्याय काय आहे, याचा सोल्युशन काय आहे हे सुचत नाही आपल्याला. जेव्हा मी अयोध्येचं काम माझ्यापुढे आलं होतं, आणखी आम्ही 3 महिने अयोध्येच्या कामावर आम्ही विचार करत होतो. म्हणजे शेकडो वर्ष ज्याला कोणी सोल्युशन मानलं नाही ते काम आमच्या पुढे आलं होतं. आणि त्यावेळेला एक असं झालं ते काम चालूच असताना की ह्याच्यात मार्ग कसा शोधायचा, आम्हाला कोणालाही माहिती नव्हतं ह्याच्यात मार्ग कसा शोधता येईल. त्यावेळेला मी आपल्या दररोजच्या दैनंदिन जीवनात माझी जी पूजा करतो तेव्हा मी देवांच्या पुढे भगवंतांच्या पुढे मी बसतो तिथे आणि मी त्यांना सांगितलं ह्याच्यात मार्ग तुम्हीच शोधून द्या.
India's top judge has provided such a vivid and moving description that we can virtually picture the solution being delivered to him in an epiphanous flash. And going by the judgment which Justice Chandrachud and his colleagues eventually delivered, the deity clearly seems to have said, "Give me the land so that I can have another temple." The deity having spoken, the only job left for the judges was to dress up this solution with the cloth of judicial reasoning to the best of their ability. His temple secured, the deity then honored the faith that each of these 5 judges had shown in his divine judgment. The man who was CJI at the time, Ranjan Gogoi, was sent by God to the Rajya Sabha upon retirement. 2 of the puny judges on the bench were elevated to Chief Justice of India in due course. And of the 2 remaining puny judges, God ensured that one of them became a governor upon retirement, while the other became head of the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. The deity's role in its authorship also helps clear up one of those mysteries about the Ayodhya judgment, that it alone among all judgments the Supreme Court had delivered till then was unsigned. After all, one can't formally credit the hand of God now, can we? Jokes aside, Justice Chandrachud's statement is alarming for at least 5 reasons. First, he and the Ayodhya bench definitely did not find a solution to the dispute, and it is dishonest for him to pretend otherwise. What they did was to find in favor of the powerful party implicated in the illegal demolition of the mosque. The judges acknowledged that the demolition in 1992 was a heinous crime, but saw nothing wrong in allowing the vandals and their proxies to take possession of land that they had illegally cleared. Now, might is right can hardly be called a solution, and it is laughable if Justice Chandrachud wants us to believe the bench's direction to the government to provide 5 acres outside Ayodhya for a new mosque represents some kind of divine justice. That direction, if anything, was proof of the bench's unwillingness to deliver the kind of justice that was required. The issue before the bench was not whether there is a mosque that Muslims can worship in, but whether it is permissible for thugs to violently dispossess a person or a community. And to the eternal shame of the Indian judiciary, the Ayodhya bench answered that question in the affirmative. Second, the fact that the CJI actually thinks he delivered a divinely ordained solution to the dispute may explain why he has helped reopen the Gyanvapi mosque dispute and countless other disputes as a result, despite the Places of Worship Act of 1991 placing a strict bar on changing the character of a place of worship from what it was on August the 15th, 1947. This is also a pointer to the kind of divinely ordained solutions that will doubtless follow in our courtrooms as Hindutva groups mount claims on Muslim places of worship around the country. Earlier this month, the CJI wondered aloud what his legacy would be. He need not wonder or wait too long to find out, for he has opened the door to hundreds of destructive claims by Hindutva organizations. Judgments in those cases may then be respectfully laid at the feet of the newly minted Goddess of Justice, commissioned by Justice Chandrachud and placed in the Supreme Court library. Third, how could Justice Chandrachud have asked the deity to help find a solution to the dispute when the deity, through his next friend, was a party to the original dispute? Is this not a conflict of interest? And think about the impropriety for a moment. Hindutva politicians who are thrilled with the CJI's candor would be the first to yell bias if, in a bitter dispute between a Muslim and a Hindu litigant, a Muslim judge who delivers a verdict that favors the Muslim litigant says that the solution came to him from Allah. Fourth, the truth is that Justice Chandrachud is seeking refuge in this kind of divine rationalizing and grandstanding because he knows the judgment he helped deliver in the Ayodhya matter was legally unsound. In doing so, he is surely perpetrating a great injustice on the deity too, on whom the controversial verdict is sought to be pinned, when it was actually the handiwork of small men unwilling to take responsibility for their own flawed reasoning. Surely it is high time Justice D.Y. Chandrachud learns to own up to his own decisions. Fifth, judges take an oath to do justice by the laws laid down in the Constitution and the statute book. They are, of course, free to believe in deities or holy books and follow their orders and oracular wisdom in their personal lives. But when it comes to dispensing justice, no deity can be above the Constitution or be the source of a decision. Yes, faith in God can sometimes give men the courage to take difficult decisions. I concede that tremendous courage would have been required to rule that the men and organizations who demolished the Babri Masjid in 1992 would never be allowed to take control of that land. But there was no courage involved in the Ayodhya bench's ruling at a time when the governing party at the center was politically desperate for the Ram temple as an election prop, that a temple must be built. So where does this leave us? India already has a Prime Minister who directly communes with God and says he follows God's will and instructions. The country now has a Chief Justice worthy of Modi's own self-proclaimed non-biological stature. We should thank Chief Justice Chandrachud for removing the blindfold from not just Lady Justitia, but from all our eyes as well.